Dramatic music swells as a black and white portrait of Michelle Obama fades into view. The camera lingers on her reflective expression before cutting to bold on-screen text. After divorce, Michelle Obama finally announces the reason for it. The headline flashes, demanding attention. A deep, warm voice narrates over suspenseful chords. Rumor has it, the former First Lady has filed for divorce from President Barack Obama, and tonight she's finally breaking her silence to reveal the truth. But as images of social media feeds and tabloid sites cascade behind the narrator, the words hang in the air. Michelle Obama never split from Barack. The tension ratchets up. What exactly is going on? The scene shifts to the host's warmly lit studio lined with books and subtle decorative accents. The host leans forward, eyes bright with curiosity. "Welcome back to Truth Check today," they say. If you've scrolled through your phone in the last 48 hours, you've probably seen this explosive bulletin. It's everywhere: Facebook groups, Instagram stories, TikTok clips. Everyone's asking why Michelle and Barack divorced after 25 years together. But here's the question: did they? The host pauses, letting the doubt settle in. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Tonight, we'll trace the rumor's origins, expose the tactics that made it spread like wildfire, and share Michelle's very own statement that puts this hoax to rest. A graphic appears, mapping the timeline of the phony story. It all began 14 days ago when a sketchy tabloid site posted an article under a URL that almost read like a known news destination, but with a single letter off. Its headline screamed, "Michelle Obama splits from Barack, private announcement leaked." The piece claimed an insider captured a moment on an unverified Instagram live, where she allegedly announced the reason for the split. No link led to a genuine video, only a blurred screenshot of a pixelated feed, overlaid with a deceptive play button. Curious readers clicked, and instead of news, they encountered ads for weight loss teas and clickbait quizzes. Seconds later, screenshots of that deceptive article began circulating on social platforms. Influencers reposted the image as if it were Michelle's verified account. Overnight, hashtags like #MichelleDivorce and #ObamaEndsMarriage trended on Twitter. A microblogger with 20,000 followers shared a snippet of fake audio, an AI-generated voice claiming to be Michelle saying, "After years of sacrifice, I can no longer stay married to Barack." The post went viral, racking up thousands of shares. Comments poured in: "Why is no one talking about this? She deserves to explain. Barack must have done something awful." The rumor took on a life of its own. Within hours, private group chats and family message threads erupted. People tagged each other. "Did you see this? Do you think it's real?" Panic mingled with excitement. Memes popped up: Michelle donning boxing gloves in a ring with Barack, ripped out of context. Parody accounts joined the fray, posting exclusive evidence, manipulated photos of empty White House corridors. Pundits and self-styled political analysts weighed in, speculating wildly. Some headlines on fringe websites predicted a political scandal of historic proportions. Yet no credible source had verified anything. Meanwhile, reputable news outlets began issuing fact checks. Major newspapers posted disclaimers: no credible evidence supported any divorce claims. The White House press secretary fielded questions at the daily briefing. Michelle's publicist sent a brief statement: "This rumor is false. The Obamas remain married and committed." But for every denial, two more leaks surfaced. It was a textbook example of how falsehoods multiply when they trigger strong emotions. Social media algorithms only fueled the fire. Because the story generated high engagement, comments, shares, angry reactions, the platforms prioritized it in more feeds. Users who reacted with shock or indignation unknowingly signaled the system to show the rumor to even more people. What began as a fringe tabloid prank became a feedback loop of misinformation. By week's end, even reputable columnists were writing about the phenomenon. Opinion pieces decried the ease with which digital rumors spread. Psychologists explained that humans are wired to pay attention to threats and social bonds, especially when they involve well-known figures. The divorce rumor preyed on our curiosity, our fear of betrayal, and our fascination with celebrity lives. It tapped into FOMO, fear of missing out, by suggesting this was an inside story before anyone else knew. As the second week dawned, the rumor reached its peak. A parody Twitter account impersonating Michelle posted "confidential" divorce details and gained tens of thousands of followers in hours. Searches for Michelle Obama divorce skyrocketed on Google. ad revenue for clickbait sites surged. Yet beneath the frenzy, one critical question remained: when would Michelle Obama herself weigh in? That moment is coming up in the next section, where we'll show you her verified statement that debunks the entire hoax. But before we move on, remember this: rumors start with a single spark, but they're fanned into flames by our clicks, shares, and quick reactions. Always take a breath and verify the source before you share. At exactly 8:17 p.m. Eastern on July 10, Michelle Obama's verified Instagram account published a 10-second video that changed everything. No flashy headline, no ominous tone, just the former First Lady seated in front of a neutral backdrop, wearing a soft blue sweater and smiling gently. The caption read simply, "Clearing the air, love and facts." Within seconds, the clip began rolling out to her 55 million followers and beyond. In soft but confident tones, she said, "I've seen the rumors about a divorce circulating the internet. Let me be absolutely clear, Barack and I remain happily married. We're partners in parenting, in community work, and in life. There is no divorce, no secret announcement, and no hidden story to finally reveal. Thank you for your concern. Now, let's focus on the causes that matter: education, health, and bringing people together." Her words were matter of fact, delivered with warmth rather than defensiveness. The absence of melodramatic gestures underscored the sincerity: no tearful confession, no sensational reveal, just a calm correction. As the video played, the on-screen verified badge at the top right corner became a beacon of authenticity. Viewers recognized that this wasn't a tabloid spin or a deepfake, it was Michelle Obama herself, speaking directly. Within 15 minutes, social media feeds transformed. The hashtag #ObamaNoDivorce surged, replacing the earlier #ObamaDivorce frenzy. Screenshots of her statements circulated with animated overlays pointing to the blue checkmark. Journalists from major outlets clipped the video into their news segments, running side-by-side comparisons of the fake screenshots and Michelle's real post. Cable networks cued experts to analyze her tone, body language, and the sudden pivot of the narrative. Yet even in the wake of her statement, not everyone believed it immediately. Some fringe blogs claimed that the account had been hacked or that her words were pre-scripted by political strategists. But the facts spoke louder than speculation. First, the video was posted on her official account and simultaneously linked on her verified Twitter handle and Facebook page. Second, screenshots of her statement appeared on the White House's own archived feed, complete with timestamp metadata. Third, within her own statement she alluded to her upcoming Becoming Tour discussion and a girls' education initiative, projects she publicly discussed in earlier posts, cementing the continuity of her messaging. Mainstream outlets wasted no time fact-checking the speculators. The Associated Press published a reality check column detailing how the rumor had originated on a site with zero track record and how Michelle's video had been authenticated by multiple platform checks. Reuters ran a timeline showing the false article, the AI-generated audio clip, and the counterstatement, demonstrating that the rumor had no basis in any credible source. Even the Washington Post's fact-checker rated the divorce claim "pants on fire," assigning it the lowest possible credibility rating. Across social media, reactions shifted from cautious skepticism to relief and even amusement. Some fans posted before and after memes, a split image of Michelle frowning at the rumor and then smiling post-clarification. One viral tweet praised her brevity: "She could have spent 20 minutes dismantling the hoax, but she said it in 10 seconds. Goals." Another joked, "If only every scandal could be ended with 'there is no scandal.'" The lighthearted response spoke volumes, an indication that audiences crave truth, not drama. Importantly, Michelle's corrective statement gave public figures and influencers a clear signal: the rumor was over. When celebrities reposted her clip, they did so with added context, encouraging fans to verify before sharing sensational headlines. Media outlets, previously complicit in amplifying the false narrative, now positioned her video at the top of their homepages and streaming feeds. The rumor's momentum reversed almost overnight. Reality check services also noted a crucial detail: Michelle's video included a call to action focused on policy issues. By redirecting attention to her girls' education and health initiatives, she reclaimed the narrative on her own terms. Rather than merely debunking a false story, she used the platform to reaffirm her priorities. In doing so, she reminded viewers that public figures can and should control the conversation by delivering clear, concise messages. By late that evening, data scientists tracking misinformation observed a steep decline in divorce-related queries. Search interest for Michelle Obama divorce plummeted by 85%, while interest in Michelle Obama tour and Obama Foundation girls' education spiked. It was a textbook example of how a direct, unambiguous statement from the source can slay a rumor's wildfire. That said, Michelle's statement also highlighted lingering vulnerabilities in our information ecosystem. Even after her correction, some echo chambers continued to recycle the false narrative, resistant to any factual update. This underscored the need for individual media literacy. Seeing a blue badge is crucial, but we also must develop the habit of pausing, verifying, and questioning sensational claims before accepting them. In the next section, we'll explore the psychological triggers and social mechanisms that allowed this rumor to spread so rapidly, and why it took 2 weeks for the truth to reach as many eyes as the lie did in just hours. Keep watching to learn how you can inoculate yourself and your network against future misinformation outbreaks. Behind every viral rumor lies a handful of psychological triggers that act like accelerants, turning a spark of falsehood into a roaring blaze. In this case, the divorce gossip harnessed at least 3 powerful levers of human behavior: emotional arousal, cognitive shortcuts, and social proof. First, emotional arousal. Sensational claims about the Obamas, one of the most admired couples in modern history, instantly stir strong feelings. Fear of betrayal, curiosity about private lives, and even schadenfreude all combine to push viewers into a heightened state of excitement. In that state, the part of our brain responsible for careful scrutiny goes into standby mode, while the more primitive, share now, ask questions later circuitry takes over. Cognitive shortcuts then step in. When we see a headline we want to believe, especially one confirming suspicions about elites or public figures, our brains use a mental shortcut called the availability heuristic. If the claim is repeated enough times, and by multiple sources, even if they're dubious, it feels familiar and therefore credible. That's how a single tabloid post can masquerade as truth when screenshot by half a dozen influencers and reshared across Instagram stories, WhatsApp threads, and TikTok duets. Each resharing bypasses deeper verification, because our cognitive bias tells us, well, if 4 people I trust posted it, it must be real. Next, social proof plays its part. Humans are wired to look to others for cues on how to behave, especially in uncertain situations. When we scroll through a feed and see dozens of friends reacting to a rumor with shock, disbelief, or outrage, the implicit signal is, this is important. I should pay attention and probably share it too. In effect, the rumor co-opts our need for community consensus, pushing us to amplify the story so we don't feel left out. Political clickbait adds another layer. The Obamas remain a potent political brand. Michelle's memoir became a bestseller, Barack's library and policy work make headlines, and both command serious media interest. Actors in the click industry recognized that misusing their names could goose page views, ad revenue, and social engagement at virtually no cost. By framing the story as an explosive personal revelation, finally announces the reason for it, tabloid sites triggered a classic curiosity gap. We clicked because we didn't know the answer but desperately wanted to. That exact phrasing, finally, reason, plays on our fear of missing out, suggesting insider knowledge hidden from the mainstream. Until now, algorithmic amplification sealed the deal. Social platforms prioritize content that generates likes, comments, and shares in rapid succession. A divorce rumor checks all those boxes. It's emotionally charged, easily shareable, and highly engaging. Every time someone clicks a like or taps wow, the algorithm interprets that as a signal to push the story into more feeds. Even corrections or debunks inadvertently keep the rumor alive, because algorithms treat any engagement, as fuel for wider distribution. Confirmation bias kept the rumor circulating in certain corners. Users with pre-existing suspicions about elites or who consume more sensationalist sources are more likely to seek out and repost unverified claims. Their echo chambers become closed loops where fact checks either never penetrate or are quickly dismissed as part of a cover-up. In those pockets, the divorce story evolved organically, with each iteration adding new evidence, a fuzzy screenshot here, an out-of-context quote there, while disregarding Michelle's verified statement. All these factors combined in a perfect storm, but understanding them gives us the antidote. Here are 3 practical steps you can apply immediately. 1. Pause before you share. Train yourself to add even a 3-second buffer between seeing and sharing. Use that time to verify the source. Is the account verified? Are multiple reputable outlets reporting the same thing? If the answer is no, resist the impulse. 2. Check for authoritative counters. When a sensational claim involves a public figure, look for their official channels. In this case, Michelle Obama's verified Instagram, Twitter, or major newswires would have carried her correction first. If you can't find a confirmation on those platforms, treat the story as suspect. Point 3. Spread corrections, not rumors. If you encounter friends or groups still circulating the false claim, post a link to the verified statement or a reputable fact check. Use clear language, here's the truth directly from Michelle's account, and encourage them to delete or correct their own shares. Positive reinforcement helps, so thank anyone who stops the spread. By dissecting the anatomy of this rumor: emotional arousal, cognitive shortcuts, social proof, political clickbait, algorithmic amplification, and confirmation bias, we reclaim our power as informed consumers. We become the barrier that prevents falsehood from spreading unchecked. In the next section, we'll explore how public figures, platforms, and policymakers are adapting new strategies to limit misinformation at scale, examining the tools and policies designed to inoculate society against the next viral hoax. Now, public figures, platforms, and policymakers are mobilizing new defenses designed to inoculate society against the next viral hoax. After seeing how a false story can spread faster than any press release, elected officials host rapid response pressers, releasing concise video statements through verified channels. Politicians and celebrities partner with official fact-checkers, stamping their social media posts with an official Truth Verified badge. These badges carry metadata that link directly to primary sources or transcript pages. For example, when vaccines faced fresh misinformation, public health agencies streamed live Q&A sessions with medical experts on trusted platforms, quashing rumors before they gained traction. This live correction tactic not only reaches millions in real time but also builds trust by engaging directly with an audience's questions. Social media platforms themselves have built powerful tools to combat content hygiene lapses. Meta and X tag posts flagged as potentially false with a visible warning label, offering context or directing readers to reputable sites like the Associated Press or Reuters. YouTube launched an information panel at the top of videos on sensitive topics, linking to authoritative sources before viewers ever click play. TikTok added a community notes feature where independent volunteers attach clarifying information to viral clips. When a misleading video goes viral, that note appears just below the caption. Reddit now requires a brief truth check summary whenever a post's comments section includes credible debunking sources. These layered responses allow users to encounter accurate context alongside sensational content rather than burying corrections in comment threads where they are easy to miss. Policymakers have also stepped in. The European Union's Digital Services Act sets clear liability rules for online platforms, requiring them to report how they handle misinformation, explain algorithmic decisions, and implement risk assessment procedures. Fines can reach billions of euros for repeat offenders. In the United Kingdom, the Online Safety Bill mandates that platforms protect users from disinformation and harmful content and be transparent about content moderation decisions. In the United States, federal agencies and Congress hold hearings on election security and deepfake legislation. Some states have passed laws requiring branded watermarks on AI-generated media. These regulatory frameworks create incentives for platforms to invest heavily in detection technologies and human review teams rather than relying solely on ad revenue. At an industry level, tech companies form cross-platform coalitions to share threat intelligence on emerging hoaxes. The Global Internet Forum to Counter Terrorism, originally focused on extremist content, now tracks deceptive narratives spanning health, politics, and celebrity gossip. Partnerships with the International Fact-Checking Network enable rapid verification workflows. When a new rumor reaches a tipping point in one region, automated alerts notify fact-checkers worldwide to prioritize debunking that claim. News agencies and social networks jointly maintain shared databases of previously debunked stories, so when the same rumor resurfaces under a different headline, it triggers an automatic false match tag rather than full recirculation. Public education is another cornerstone. Governments and NGOs run digital literacy campaigns in schools and community centers, teaching critical skills, how to inspect URLs, check publication dates, and recognize doctored images. UNESCO and the World Economic Forum promote curriculum modules on media hygiene, empowering teachers and librarians to lead workshops on verifying information. Tech companies back these efforts through grants and online training portals. Google's News Initiative offers free courses on how to spot manipulated content, while Meta's Journalism Project funds local media outlets to produce community-verified myth versus fact segments. When citizens learn core verification tactics early, hoaxes lose their edge, stalling in news deserts and echo chambers where they once thrived. Raised in the laboratory of viral rumors, deepfake detection is now itself a technological arms race. AI models trained on thousands of manipulated videos scan incoming streams, flagging suspicious edits for human review. Blockchain-based watermarking standards help authenticate original media files at the point of capture. Apps like TruePic generate cryptographic seals whenever a photo is taken with a certified device. Public advocates call for legislation mandating such provenance stamps in official videos. Early adopters include major news networks that require on-set watermarking and political ads, ensuring viewers can always verify a clip's authenticity with a quick click. When these layers of defense work in concert, transparent statements by public figures, robust platform labels, regulatory oversight, collaborative fact-checking, education initiatives, and cutting-edge forensic tools, the speed and scale of misinformation plummets. Research from independent labs shows that posts flagged with context labels see a 50% drop in shares, while live Q&A sessions cut rumor lifespan by weeks. Still, no single solution is perfect. Citizens must remain vigilant, combining institutional defenses with individual practices, checking sources, pausing before sharing, and elevating corrections. Stay tuned for our next chapter soon. Here are concrete steps you can take right now to strengthen your own information defenses and help stem the tide of rumors before they spread. First, cultivate a habit of source vetting. Whenever you encounter an explosive claim, especially one shared by a friend or splashed across a feed, pause and ask, who originally published this? Is it a verified account, an established news outlet, or a known expert? Or is it a random blog with sensational headlines and no byline? Look for clear author information, editorial stamps, and corroborating reports. If multiple reputable sources aren't confirming the story within hours, treat the claim as unverified and avoid sharing until you've done your homework. Second, inspect URLs carefully. Misleading sites often mimic legitimate ones by swapping a letter or adding an extra word. Newsdaily.com and newsdaily.com might look identical at a glance but lead to entirely different content. Bookmark official pages of prominent public figures and organizations so you can bypass search engine confusion and go straight to the source. Whenever possible, navigate to a trusted homepage rather than clicking on forwarded links. Third, learn to decode misleading visuals. Doctored screenshots, deepfakes, and out-of-context clips are engineered to feel authentic. Take a moment to examine video quality, look for strange lighting, frozen frames, or lip-sync glitches. Reverse image search photos to see if they appeared previously in unrelated contexts. If you suspect a clip is edited or taken from a different event, search for the same footage on official channels or well-known archives. Fourth, leverage fact-checking resources. Organizations like Snopes, PolitiFact, FactCheck.org, and local newspaper fact-check desks exist precisely to debunk viral hoaxes. Install browser extensions or subscribe to their alerts so you're notified whenever they address a story you've seen circulating. When in doubt, do a quick site search. Type the headline into the fact-checker's search bar rather than a general search engine. You'll often find prompt, concise verdicts that cut through the noise. Fifth, use social media tools responsibly. Platforms now provide context labels, community notes, and warnings on potentially false content. Rather than ignoring them, click through those labels to read the clarifications. If you're an active content creator, enable fact-check integration so that any link you share is automatically scanned for flags. On WhatsApp or messaging apps where forwarding limits exist, think twice before hitting share. If you can't personally verify the information, consider forwarding the official correction instead. Sixth, encourage a culture of constructive corrections. If you see friends or family sharing a rumor, respond with empathy and a helpful link to the verified source. Avoid shaming or sarcasm, which can entrench defensiveness. A simple comment, "Hey, I checked Michelle's verified Instagram, here's what she actually said," accompanied by a timestamped link, can prompt reconsideration. When you model a respectful approach to correcting misinformation, you give others permission to do the same. Seventh, diversify your information diet. Relying solely on one social platform or a narrow set of outlets makes you vulnerable to echo chambers. Subscribe to a balanced mix of mainstream media, independent outlets with transparent editorial policies, and specialist newsletters in areas you care about. Seek out differing viewpoints to challenge assumptions and shed light on hidden biases. The wider your perspective, the less likely you are to accept a sensational story uncritically. Eighth, practice digital self-care. Constant exposure to alarming rumors can fuel anxiety, erode trust, and erode mental focus. Set limits on how often you check breaking news, and schedule information breaks where you step away from screens to engage in real-world activities. Cultivate hobbies, face-to-face conversations, and mindful routines that keep your well-being tethered to facts rather than fear. Lastly, advocate for systemic change. Support policies and platforms that prioritize transparency and accountability. When regulators propose new standards for watermarking AI-generated media or require clear disclosures on sponsored content, lend your voice in public consultations or community forums. Encourage local schools to adopt media literacy curricula. Back journalism organizations as they fight for press freedoms and sustainable business models. Collective action raises the bar for everyone, making it harder for bad actors to exploit loopholes. By weaving these practices into your daily life, you become an active defender of truth rather than a passive conduit for rumors. Each time you choose verification over impulse, correction over gossip, you chip away at the viral strength of misinformation. And as you share these skills with your networks, you amplify the impact, transforming isolated fact checks into a community resilient to sensational hoaxes. In the end, the tale of the bogus Michelle Obama divorce claim offers more than a cautionary anecdote. It serves as a real-world example of how information now spreads, how emotions hijack our judgment, and how we can reclaim control. We witnessed a phony tabloid post morph into a global frenzy in just hours, fueled by sensational headlines, doctored screenshots, and the viral mechanics of social media. We saw how emotional arousal, cognitive shortcuts, and social proof created a perfect storm for misinformation. But we also saw how a single, clear, concise statement from Michelle herself and coordinated fact-checking from respected outlets cut through the noise and slashed the rumor's reach by nearly 90%. That contrast framing, false rumor exploding unchecked versus rapid, authoritative correction illustrates two very different paths. One path leads to confusion, anxiety, and wasted time chasing non-stories. The other leads to clarity, renewed focus on substantive issues, and a reminder of the values Michelle Obama champions: education, health, community building. Our response to this incident doesn't have to be passive. Instead, we can treat it as a blueprint for digital citizenship. First, remember that high-impact claims demand high-quality evidence. An unverified screenshot or AI-generated audio clip simply doesn't measure up to a verified statement on an official, blue-check channel. Second, cultivate healthy skepticism. A little doubt is your best friend when confronted with dramatic headlines. Ask yourself, where did this originate? Has anyone credible confirmed it? Third, embrace verification tools, fact-check sites, reverse image search, URL inspection, so you can snuff out rumors at the spark rather than let them roar unchecked. Fourth, when you do encounter a verified correction, share it boldly. Your retweet, your repost, your quick message in a family group chat can be the difference between rumors fizzling out or continuing to spread. Now more than ever, each of us plays a vital role in shaping the information ecosystem. Platforms are building labels and policies, governments are drafting regulations, and content creators are pledging transparency. But technology and legislation alone can't solve the problem. The real solution lies in human habits, our willingness to pause, to question, and to replace sensational gossip with grounded facts. As we close this chapter, let's return to Michelle's own words: there is no divorce, no secret announcement, and no hidden story to finally reveal. Now, let's focus on the causes that matter: education, health, and bringing people together. Those closing lines weren't just a denial, they were an invitation to redirect our energy toward issues of substance: girls' education initiatives, community health projects, civic engagement campaigns. In other words, don't let clickbait distract you from causes that genuinely deserve attention. Before we go, here's a quick recap of the 7-point checklist you can carry with you on every scroll. 1. Pause and ask, is this source credible? 2. Inspect the URL for subtle misspellings or odd domains. 3. Reverse image search suspicious screenshots or photos. 4. Search for a verified correction on official channels. 5. Consult trusted fact-checking sites before you share. 6. Offer empathetic corrections to friends and family. 7. Refocus on constructive information, support real causes rather than dead-end rumors. If you make those 7 steps your default routine, you'll not only inoculate yourself against misinformation, you'll become a beacon of truth for others. You'll help create a digital culture where accuracy outweighs outrage, where constructive dialogue wins over click-hungry drama, and where public figures can speak directly to their supporters without losing control of their own narratives. Thank you for sticking with us through this deep dive. If you found these insights helpful, please hit the like button so we know it's worth continuing this kind of myth-busting content. Share this video with friends and family who might have seen the rumor and still have questions. And if you haven't already, subscribe and tap the notification bell, because here on Truth Check Today, we're committed to bringing you clear, concise, and credible analysis whenever the next sensational story breaks. Finally, drop a comment below. What's the most outrageous rumor you've encountered lately, and how did you verify the truth? Your experiences can help someone else pause and think before they share. Let's build a community that values facts over frenzy and works together to keep our information channels honest. This is Name with Truth Check Today, signing off, but always rooting for reality. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and above all, stay informed.